Now Gary Sullivan, he's been a stuntman, an actor, and he actually went Hollywood for this fight, putting the finishing touches on his training camp the last 9 days at Freddie Roach's Wild Card Gym. Let's take a look at the Tecate tail of the tape for tonight's co-main event, and Gary O'Sullivan makes his way to the ring. But it's Berlin Abreu who's coming off the longest layoff of his career. It's been over 500 days since he last fought, and it was the biggest win of his career over Argentina's David Peralta in December of 2016. All right, we send it up to the center of the ring with Joe Martinez and the introductions.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 10 rounds of boxing. This in the middleweight division, brought to you by Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions in association with Murphy's Boxing. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing black trunks, he weighed in officially 159 3/4 pounds. In 15 bouts as a professional, his record, 14 victories, just 1 defeat, 11 big wins, coming by way of knockout, hailing from Rio Pierdas, Puerto Rico, here is Berlin Abreu! And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the red corner. Wearing green, he weighed in 158 1/4 pounds. As a professional in 29 bouts, his record, 27 victories, just 2 defeats, 19 big wins, coming by way of knockout, fighting out of and representing Cork, Ireland. Here is Gary Spike O'Sullivan! And your referee in charge of the action, Gerard White.
Gary, Berlin, we went over the rules in the dressing room. You know what's expected out of both of you. This is good, this is good. Fight clean, fight hard, fight fair, touch them out.
Very good evening to you all. I'm Bernardo Osuna, and this evening I'm joined ringside by Bernard Hopkins, yes, the future Hall of Famer.
You okay, Doc?
As well as Beto
okay,
Duran, a ringside
okay,
reporter who will bring the best from each of the fighters' corners throughout the evening. So we're ready to work, and so are the fighters. Here's the first bell as Gary O'Sullivan. He had a chance to fight Gennady Golovkin tomorrow night in this same venue after the Canelo Triple G fight was canceled. He decided to bet on himself in the future. No knockdown, says the third man in the ring, Gerard White. That would have been quick, B-Hop.
Yeah, you know, Sullivan threw a jab, but also, you know, Berlin was off balance, and what he did is try to react real quick, and his feet went under, and that's what happens.
This was a fight that Berlin Abreu, out of Puerto Rico, living in the New York area, took on late notice. He's a natural welterweight. He's stepping up 2 weight classes, but he filled in well for the evening against Spike O'Sullivan. He hasn't fought in over or almost 2 years, coming off of his biggest win as a pro. He said, I didn't have anyone to guide my career, and that's why I didn't take any fights before this, because I wasn't getting offered good money. It finally happened for him, and he's here to take a risk, but there's a huge reward if he can pull off the upset against Gary O'Sullivan.
Well, if you look at his knockouts, you know, Berlin has, 11 knockouts out of 14 fights. He's keeping his hands up high right now, and he's seeing if he can see an opening. I think right now he should just tighten up and, you know, keep his guards to the point where he can, you know, react. But right now, it seems to be waiting a little too long. I think he should let his hands go to warm up a little quicker. But right now, Sullivan is stalking him, and if he needs to stop that, he got to throw his jab himself and punches like up the middle.
We are outside at Stub Hub, and it's a beautiful Southern California evening, 68 degrees. The wind's blowing from the west at 16 miles an hour. We're about a few miles from the ocean here in Carson, California, and there's always something in the air in this venue, B-Hop, the site of many a boxing war, and that's what Spike O'Sullivan wants to give the fans. He said, I have a Mexican style just like Golovkin, and he proved that with his sombrero as he was walking out today. And here he comes, pressing forward, looking to break down Abreu.
And you know what, Abreu needs to continue to try to, like, you know, circle, but also throw punches. And he's right now throwing punches because he's trying to fight Sullivan off him. And if he continue to fight that way, Sullivan is going to open up with some good shots. Sullivan right now should at least go to the body I think that Berlin looked kind of soft around the midsection.
Watch the heads.
And if he can
Watch
expose
the
that
heads.
early, then it will be a really uphill battle for Berlin.
You never know what you're going to get in the fighter meetings, and Berlin Abreu was very, very honest, saying, I don't know what my conditioning is going to be like. I didn't spar for this fight, but I know that I can beat Spike O'Sullivan. There's nothing special that I see in this guy. And round one, so far, it's been Gary O'Sullivan dictating the pace. All right, round one, it comes to an end, and this is what a California sunset looks like, B-Hop. Now, Ryan Garcia, Bernard, you know, he's a young, brash, undefeated fighter. Jason Velez was that guy, an great amateur career, so he's been where Ryan Garcia is today. Now, Velez has lost 4 fights as a pro, but he's never been stopped. What challenge does he pose for Ryan tonight?
Well, Velez never been stopped. He's a veteran. He's been there. He understands Garcia's urgency and cockiness, and also his invincible. He thinks that, you know, Garcia, that nobody can stop him. But, you know, this is a fight where it's kind of dangerous for Garcia, because if he thinks he's invincible, he will get surprised by a veteran who's been there, done that. I would like to see how he reacts when he get hit with a punch, or have to figure it out later in the round. So Lores is going to be on him.
Yeah, Velez says he wants to put him into deep water, but you see the charisma of the young Ryan Garcia. It's one thing to be invincible, it's another thing to be undefeated, and so far, he's only undefeated. All right, Gary Spike O'Sullivan wearing that Irish kilt, stepping in against Berlin Abreu out of Puerto Rico, wearing the dark black trunks with the white trim. And so far, it's just Spike O'Sullivan looking to break down the smaller man. You could see the height difference once they stepped into the ring today.
Not only you can see the height difference, but Sullivan is fighting to his advantage with the height. He's up straight. And right now, if you look at Berlin, is throwing a lot of wild punches. Some are hitting the gloves, and they're not really affecting, but the crowd is excited because punches are being thrown. The condition of Berlin might be questionable based on what he said earlier to us, you know, this morning. But I think that if he try to get his spots at the right time, he might can buy some rounds within himself. But I don't think that he can withstand the pressure from Sutherland as he continues to bang him to the body.
Spike O'Sullivan working his way in with a jab, looking to follow up with the overhand right. And this is a man who loves to throw a lot of punches. At age 33, when he stopped Nick Quigley on Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN last September, he threw 107 punches per round, landing 41% of them and 47% of his power punches. So he's very accurate, as you see there, with the left hook once again.
You know, O'Sullivan is just a guy that works. He's a workhorse. He chops you down top to bottom, bottom to top. And you know what? He continued to put mental pressure and also punching power behind his punches. He's getting good leverage. And, you know, Berlin's going to have to fight really to survive the next round. And to go uphill fighting that way, I don't think he has the condition to withstand O'Sullivan's pressure and power.
Oh, nice uppercut there from Berlin Abreu, but it may not be enough, as you see how Gary Sullivan really loves to work that left hook to the body, and if he knows that his opponent doesn't have the conditioning, there's no better way to break him down than to the body.
Berlin has to continue to circle, but he must keep O'Sullivan off him by keeping him in the middle of the ring. He cannot let O'Sullivan get in close to get those right hands to the body like that, because as rounds go by, it would take the legs from Berlin.
Bring that up, Gary. Bring it up.
Nice left hook there from Spike O'Sullivan, and the combination punching starts to come together. Abreu said, I'm a brawler. That's the type of fight I want, but he hasn't let his hands go, and that's got to be a credit to how hard O'Sullivan is making it on Abreu to not only throw, but to land punches early on. Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN is presented by Tecate, the official beer of boxing. And it's brought to you by Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. And how beautiful is that shot above the Stub Hub Center here in Carson? As we take a look at the weights coming into the fight, both made the middleweight limit. Abreu coming up from welterweight, but look at the weights tonight. We're talking about 13.5 pounds that Berlin Abreu was able to gain. And when you look at the difference, it was almost 7 pounds.
Don't let it pop out again, okay?
More than Gary O'Sullivan, as the first warning from Gerard White to Berlin Abreu for dropping his mouthpiece. But B-Hop, did he gain too much weight for tonight?
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with hydration, and that's where, you know, you can become sluggish as the fight go on. It doesn't help you, and you know, O'Sullivan now, you know, putting the pressure as he's doing for the last, been doing for the last couple of rounds, is not going to be a plus for Berlin, as he just got hit with a straight right hand. That really Berlin takes good punches, but can he continue to take those punches as the round go on, sucking up that water weight that he put on in between within 24 hours?
You know, he wants to go back to welterweight, does Berlin Abreu, but I mean, tonight I think it's a matter of survival. He knows that Gary O'Sullivan's a big puncher, that he's going to come in the bigger man, so he decided to add that water weight, at least to withstand the punishment that he expects from Spike O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan said, look, I've got bigger and greater things moving forward for me, including the winner of the Canelo Triple G fight in September, if that happens. But nonetheless, he says, I can't overlook this man I've got in front of me today.
I mean, he's really in a situation where if he knocks Berlin out in 1 or 2 rounds or 3 rounds,
big right there.
But you just got a good right hand in there and a good left hook to the body, another right hand up top. But you know, Berlin is not going to give him any talk and front page tomorrow. But it's a fight to stay busy. It's a fight for bigger and better things down the line, which he's in the mix for big fights in the middleweight division. And that's what O'Sullivan talked about yesterday. And he just continued to be a workhorse, you know, mauling down his guys, coming forward and being impressive to the world.
That's exactly what he said. I've got to continue doing my jobs. If you look at the total punches so far, Gary O'Sullivan more than, or that right at about 100 more thrown. But look at the punches landed. It's almost 60 more, as once again, the mouthpiece comes flying out, and we'll see how Gerard White handles this.
No, he spit it out. Berlin spit it out clearly, and that's why you hear the boos.
There it is, B-Hop.
Yeah, you see right now, he wants to break. He spits the mouthpiece out.
Look at the left side of the screen. That is Gerard White taking a point away from Abreu because he warned him in the first round, B-Hop. And you're right. It wasn't the fact that it was punched out. He spit it out looking to gain an advantage.
And that has something to do with what we talked about earlier, Bernardo. The water weight that he put on to try to withstand some of these body punches that O'Sullivan is hitting him with. And you know, he seemed to have, you know, skills to compete, but not a condition to compete. And O'Sullivan know that, he sensed that, and he's coming in for the kill.
Abreu, he's got fighting heart, but that conditioning will be put to the test. He said, I know I got 4 or 5 rounds in me. If he goes beyond that, it would be a moral victory. We're back here at the Stub Hub Center in Carson, and while we were on break, the referee, Gerard White, comes over to the corner, and immediately the fight is waved off by Roger Romo, who is the brother of Fernando Vargas, the Feroz Fernando Vargas, and they waved it off immediately, not wanting Berlin Abreu to take any more punishment. Beto Duran was in the corner. Beto, what happened?
Roger just told me he didn't want to see Abreu get hurt. He couldn't do anything to defend himself. He said, I don't want to be responsible for somebody taking that much punishment.
Very important word you use, Beto, and Roger used it. Responsibility, B-Hop. And that's one of the things that the corner, one of their primary duties is to take care of their opponent. Could he have gone out and taken more punishment? Of course. It was the right decision made.
It was the right decision because nothing was going to happen different in the next round, but his fighter's getting punished more. Good decision. And you know what? In boxing, you see sometimes bad decisions. This one was a really good one.
All right, we just saw that Berlin Abreu walk back in disgust towards the locker room. He may have wanted to continue, but his corner did the right thing. And that means that Gary Spike O'Sullivan has earned his 20th knockout win as a pro. In his 30th fight, 28 of them have been victories. As Oscar De La Hoya and Ken, the man from the Dropkick Murphys, are in there celebrating the victory alongside Packy Collins, the brother of Stevie Collins, one of the greatest Irish fighters in history, and now guiding the career of Gary O'Sullivan as his trainer. All right, Joe Martinez with the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round number 3, the blue corner and Abreu retire. Declaring your victory, your winner by TKO from Cork, Ireland, Gary Spike O'Sullivan!
All right, so Gary Spike O'Sullivan does his part, and there may be gold at the end of that rainbow for this Irishman on Cinco de Mayo. LA has seen Gary O'Sullivan come away with a win.